This is Viterbi Voices.
Coming to you from the University of Southern California, Viterbi School of Engineering.
We're here to give you the inside scoop about research, classes, student life, and so much more.
All of these shared from our students, faculty, and other members of our USC community.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Viterbi Voices. As usual, I am one of your hosts. My name is Paul Ledesma, Director of Undergraduate Admission here at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering.
And my name's Emily Powis, senior studying biomedical engineering. And today we have Derek that's going to tell us a little bit more about his episode.
Yeah, Derek, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, everyone. My name is Derek. If you don't already know me from other VSA activities, I'm a senior studying industrial engineering right now. I'm in my last year as well of the PDP program, doing my master's in operations research. And it was a pleasure to host this live chat, kick things off for the year. All things Viterbi, pretty straightforward format, and I hope it was educational.
So this episode they're about to hear is the live chat from, when was this? This was August 22nd?
Mm-hmm.
August 22nd? Okay, cool. So it was a live chat on August 22nd. And basically you had a ton of prospective students come into the live chat in a Zoom session. They were asking questions. You guys were just answering them live, right? And so what types of questions are they about to hear?
Yeah, exactly. We had a big attendance, which I was really grateful for. Just general Viterbi questions like, what are the students at Viterbi like? Is it easy to switch your major? Pretty typical stuff if you've heard anything else, but yeah.
And then spoiler alert, a dramatic thing happens in the middle of this event, correct? Do you want to warn everybody what's going to happen?
Yes, I was hoping you would bring that up. Everyone was very patient, which was great. So we had like a rolling like kind of power surge around USC, and since
it's weird. I don't even know the last time this ever happened, but of course,
no,
when you're
never
recording
happened
something.
to me living here, and yeah, so everyone, it was the day before classes started, so everyone was by campus, and so in sync, all of the panelists and the host, our powers went out, and so we lost our internet connection. And I think I have this theory that we actually had like pretty much all 150 or so people that were attending. They stayed along because I think
amazing.
Everyone individually probably thought it was their Wi-Fi because the whole panel just disappeared all at once.
Oh.
So they waited around and it was great. We picked it right back up after. So
you guys got back on after the power outage. Seamless. Congratulations for keeping it going. It worked. You got the people there, you kept them there, and you continued on with the event. So there's a little bit of a blip there that you'll listen for. I'm hoping we add like a sound effect that goes like, do we do that? No, we didn't do it. Well, very cool, Derek. I really appreciate you hosting this live chat and bringing the recording to us so we can drop it in the audio format. For everyone out there, if you are interested, there are future live chats that will be coming on. All you got to do is go to viterbi.live/events, viterbi.live/events. You can see all of the student-led live chats there in addition to all of our admission information sessions. And then coming soon, we will also have a number of different faculty events where you'll be able to ask questions of faculty throughout the fall semester. So go to viterbi.live/events and you can see all of that information there for you, and some really cool topics that are coming up. Derek, do you have to remember any of the topics for the future live chats that are coming down the road?
That's a great question. I believe the next one is women in engineering. And then after that, if I'm correct, it could be engineering plus. Please don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
No, you're right. All of these are in the future, right? So we've got a women in engineering panel. We've got Black students in engineering. We've got Latinx students in engineering. We've got LGBTQIA plus students in engineering. We've got doing more than engineering. We've got learning about your different majors, which I think is actually the very next one. And we've got research and projects in engineering, basically different topics on different elements across the board. So I'm excited to see that to come to fruition, and hopefully we'll have some really great different mixes of students so everybody can see a different set of students every single panel and get a sense of what the student body is like. So let's get out of the way and hand it over to the recording of Derek to host the Viterbi Voices live chat from August 22nd.
Hi, everyone. My name is Derek. My pronouns are he, him, and I am a senior now studying industrial engineering, also doing my PDP in operations research engineering, and I'm from Los Gatos, California. And now for our panelists.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cameron. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a junior studying computer science and business administration, and I'm originally from Chicago. I've also been involved in USC's National Society of Black Engineers, the Investing Society, our Formula SAE race car design team, as well as this fall, I'll be a freshman academy coach.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie. I go by she, her. I am a junior now studying civil engineering, emphasis in building science. I'm from San Diego, California, and I'm involved in various civil engineering clubs on campus, as well as a part-time job in the central admissions office.
Hi, everybody. My name is Emily. I go by she, her pronouns, and I'm a junior now, majoring in electrical and computer engineering with a minor in cultural diplomacy. On campus, I'm a project manager for USC Makers. I've been involved in research at the Interaction Lab, and I'm a teaching assistant for the Distributed Systems and Internet of Things class, NEE, and I'm also part of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers.
Hey everybody, my name is Mark. I'm a senior studying mechanical engineering, and I'm from Diamond Bar, California. I'm also doing the product development PDP, similar to Derek, and I've been involved in the National Society of Black Engineers. I used to be a resident assistant for the Honors College, and I also used to be on the club water polo team, as well as ASCE and RPL.
And next, here are our moderators who will be behind the scenes responding to some of the Q&A questions that don't get answered live by our panelists. Let's meet them.
Hi, everyone. My name is Paul. I'm a senior studying computer engineering and computer science from El Paso, Texas.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm also a senior from Palos Verdes, California, and I'm majoring in industrial and systems engineering, and I'm doing my progressive degree in engineering management.
Hi, everyone. I'm Steven. I'm a senior studying mechanical engineer. I'm also pursuing a PDP in engineering management, and I'm from Orange County, California.
And now, without further ado, it's time to submit your questions. If you're on the webinar, we encourage you to submit questions now through the Q&A feature below. And if you're viewing this from YouTube, you can once again email us at vstudent@usc.edu for questions at a later date. We want you all to know, just to remind you again, that we were in the exact same position as you just a few years ago, applying to colleges, trying to decide what the best fit for us is. And so that's why we're here, to help you sort out those decisions as best as we can. So let's check the Q&A and see what's going on. I figure we can start with a general question that gets asked quite a bit, and it's always valuable to know. And I'll ask you guys, how did you decide on which field of engineering you wanted to pursue? And did it start as something different than it is now, or?
Yeah, actually, I first started wanting to be in architecture. So I wanted to be an architect. But then I realized that I was very gravitating towards science, math, physics, and that type of thing. And I was trying to figure out what type of career, what type of major would be able to combine all of those for me. And obviously civil engineering came to mind. And I tell this to everyone though, like I cannot go on a hike. I cannot stand looking at trees for 5 miles, but I can walk in a city for 10 miles just because I love all the buildings and just being able to figure out like how structures are built and dissecting everything behind it. So that's just kind of where I've been, and I've been wanting to do that since sophomore year of high school. So I've kind of stuck with it for a while now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, kind of similar to Natalie. I just really liked physics and math in high school. And then I kind of felt like engineering as a whole would be a good fit for me. And then to pick the major, I just looked at like the Viterbi course catalog because I just started applying like willy-nilly. I liked circuits and I thought electricity seemed cool. Like that was my basis of knowledge. But I looked at the course breakdown for what would be expected. like coming into it. They have that like undergraduate handbook. And I thought the classes all sounded like really cool. And I got really lucky and love being an EE.
Yeah, for me, I kind of knew that I was really going to be interested in engineering. As usual, like I like math and science. I did robotics. It's like I'm going to be a mechanical engineer and like build rockets and airplanes and all this sort of stuff. And then I still like doing that, but for me, once I got a chance to really take an actual class in computer science, admittedly it was MATLAB, which isn't really technically computer science or a well-used coding language outside of engineering or mechanical engineering. I kind of realized that coding was something I really had a knack for, and I really enjoyed solving problems like through this like new medium of computers. There was like such a low bar to entry, and so I just kind of made that switch, and I settled on business just because I like the little business integration and the tech in there. But yeah, it started as mechanical, and it just kind of morphed.
Yeah, I'm similar to Cameron. I started off as civil engineering, and first I really wanted to build like stadiums or kind of design stadiums because I'm a huge sports fan. But after my first internship, it just wasn't what I thought, civil engineering would really be. So I quickly switched to mechanical engineering, and I kind of enjoyed it a lot better just because at least when I was in my internship, I was designing buildings that were going to be used to like make satellites. And I just thought building the satellite would be much more interesting and I would have much more ownership over what I was doing, which is why I made the switch.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So to move on to another question, we're getting lots and lots of major related questions. And so I'm thinking maybe we can just lump some of them together. So one is, do you declare your major when you apply to USC? And if so, is it easy to change engineering majors once you get here? And then semi-related to those is, can you double major in engineering? Can you pair engineering with a business degree? Stuff like that. Would anyone want to speak on that?
Yeah, I'd say like, so kind of like in the lump sum, like I think like you can, like you technically do declare when you apply. There's like undeclared engineering as well. It's like if you don't know, you want to kind of try something out. Switching is super easy. I know when I wanted to switch my major, like I literally didn't even ask my academic advisor. She asked me, "Hey, are you still cool with mechanical engineering?" I was like, "I want to switch," and she was like, "Are you sure you want to switch, or like do you want to make it on the paper? Or do you want to soft try by like taking the class?" Like, I want to switch. So she just like clicked the button. And I'm gonna spend 15 minutes creating a course plan for it, and switching majors is like super simple. And as far as like pairing it with a minor or major, like double majoring is possible. It's like gotta coordinate with it, but minors are like pretty easy to incorporate.
Yeah, I would definitely follow up on that, what Cameron said. I talked to my advisor and I was like, hey, I really want to switch. And she was like, let's put you in these two classes, see if you like it. So I stopped taking civil engineering courses, but I was able to kind of get it approved to still count towards my major. So I took like the mechanical engineering equivalent to see if I really liked it or not. And it was really simple. I actually used to have a sports business and management minor, which was really cool. But as soon as I added on the progressive degree program, I kind of just didn't really have time to fit it in my schedule if I wanted to really kind of shorten the years that I was at USC. So that's the route that I took. But it actually is really popular to add a business or any other minor. I know people with dance minors, with innovation minors, sustainability minors. So it's definitely very doable. I actually don't know too many people at double major, but I know a ton of us, at least on this panel and at USC, do use the PDP program.
Yeah, and one thing I want to add there, because I saw someone asking about it, for those of you who might not know, the PDP program, it stands for the Progressive Degree Program. And it's a program that USC offers so that undergraduate engineering students can begin graduate level coursework when they're still working on their bachelor's degrees. So you're kind of working on both your bachelor's and master's at the same time. And for most people, that ends up being, it's kind of like a 4+1 program where you'll finish out your undergrad degree in typically 4 years and then take one extra year to finish up your master's, and then you graduate with both of them. Really great program, as you can tell with like almost our entire panel being in it. But anyway, to segue to less directly engineering related, but still a great question. How was your residential experience as a freshman?
My 7 months of living on campus as a freshman were actually really fun. So I lived in McCarthy dorms, which is located at the USC Village where like Target and Trader Joe's is. That was really cool because it was like new building and it was just fun meeting everyone. I think something that I enjoyed was just how it was set up. So it was more suite style. So I had like my bathroom, and I had one direct roommate and then like two more suite mates. But I know a ton of people who would rather have like the more traditional college living experience, like where you just have your direct roommate and like you live in a hall with a shared bathroom. I kind of wish I knew what that was like, but like more like I want to experience for like a week and then go back to my cushy living style, just to see how that would be, because I think that would be like more social and fun. But it was really cool. It's cool being like independent on campus and being able to like do what you want to do and figure out your schedule and like how to do time management without anyone telling you to do it. So really liked it.
Yeah, I'd say like I also lived in McCarthy, like the honors college, so like, I did have a sweet style. Although I was a part of this summer program at USC, the Viterbi Summer Institute, and we actually stayed in Burncrant Residential College, which is the stereotypical like residence hall style. Like you basically have like your double or your triple, two beds, your desk and whatnot. There's a communal bathroom, which I actually maybe there was because there weren't that many people there, and like it was more so for summertime, less like every single day. But it was actually really fun. I feel like a lot of people say like, oh, they have like a stigma about it, but I don't know. I thought it was really fun too. It's like, even though I did enjoy my time in McCarthy, I feel like Burncrant Residence Hall is really cool because you get to meet so many people in your hall. You would just walk down and someone was open, and they'd be like blasting a new album or just doing anything. You just kind of make friends so much easier. Kind of going through. It's like I really enjoyed them both. But yeah, the experience was like there were so many fun things to do and like always somewhere to go or something to just like be on your own and really enjoy USC and LA at all. So freshman experience and the dorm experience was really good.
Thanks, Cameron. Anyone else?
I was also
I don't think I
McCarthy,
can
so I
really
don't have the.
add too
I
much
don't have
more.
anything.
No, I think we covered it. You guys are right. I think we covered it. So another great question that I saw somewhere in the chat was someone asking about the Engineering Plus. What is Engineering Plus at USC Viterbi?
Yeah, so Engineering Plus, it's not actually like a program. There's no like official Engineering Plus program. It's basically about kind of like the culture of Viterbi and how like most of the people that you meet as an engineering student aren't just engineering students. They're like music producer people, or they do a sport, or they just have another really cool hobby, like they're artists, they're doing other things, they're into another field that's like completely unrelated to engineering. Like that's just a huge thing of like Viterbi. They really allow you in your schedule to have like minors outside of Viterbi. Like I'm minoring in cultural diplomacy, which is in the Annenberg School of Communication, which has been really fun to get to take those classes on top of my engineering course load. And that's kind of the whole mantra of Engineering Plus.
Engineering Plus to me is making TikTok dances during an engineering event.
So much fun. Yeah, Engineering Plus, you can make it whatever you want, whether it's a minor, taking classes outside of Viterbi, just pursuing extracurriculars that you want to. Viterbi really tries to make sure that your course load isn't too insane so that you still have the space to explore the other things that make you happy and make you interesting. And speaking of workload, I saw a couple people asking in general, how is the workload and pressure at USC?
That's a real good one. One, it depends your major. So I know freshman year, we're all engineering students, but in McCarthy, people would be going out, or in any dorm really, people would be going out on like a Tuesday, and you're like, I got work on Tuesday, like I have homework. I can't be like hitting the town and going out like other kids are. But at the same time, I don't feel like I was robbed of any experience because I have work. I think it is really just balancing, your time and your coursework. And so, at least for me, I made a lot of friends that are also engineers. And so we have similar schedules, similar course demands. And so we know when we can have fun. And at the same time, like when you're all doing work together, like, if you're doing like a physics post lab, or you're doing like a just physics homework, like you're with your friends, so it doesn't feel as taxing as it would, in high school where you just go home and do your work by yourself, if that makes sense. But it's definitely a lot more strenuous than a business major. Not to, talk down on any of the business majors, but I have a roommate that watches Netflix all day, and I can't do something like that.
Yeah, pretty much agree with that. Oh, sorry, Cameron. I was just going to say that it's really just how you want to build your schedule. Like if you want to make time to do something else, you can. You just have to make sure that on one day you're going to have to like heavy load your work. So like, it doesn't mean you can't go out during the week if you want to. It's more just like the work is going to be there. It's going to be there whether you like it or not. You just have to figure out when you want to get that done and what will work best for you.
Oh, I see questions about research and internships. I think everyone here has done research and internships, so I'll kick that off. This summer, I did an internship at Microsoft, and I was in the firmware engineering team. A lot of fun. USC is really, really good at connecting everyone with internship opportunities. There's really big career fairs, as well as if you're in any extracurricular. So I know a lot of the other panelists here are in different clubs, different, like whether that's their major specific or other kind of sub-organizations of Viterbi. They'll also have like recruiters come in, and that's a really good way to get a job. That's how I found my job, through the club makers. We had recruiters come in and just do events with us, and you can network that way. But yeah, anyone else want to add on?
Yeah, I feel like
sure. Oh, go ahead.
Emily hit. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Emily hit on a lot of the main points. Clubs and organizations, and are really good ways to find internships, especially the USC like Viterbi Career Fair. They have like career fair like just for us. Like there's a main one, but then there's like one for Viterbi people only. So it's really cool. And like going there, I really got a chance to like practice my elevator pitch and like get a chance to like get an internship when I was a freshman, like with relatively no experience. So it's a really cool way to do it. And then like all the individual clubs, so like I know NESB, like for Black engineers, SHIP for Hispanic engineers, and even like the clubs for people's respective majors, they actually also like bring recruiters too. So it was pretty like easy to, network with recruiters, like talk to them and get some face time to try to get a job.
Absolutely. Yeah, USC does a really great job at making connections for their students with a lot of different companies. The career fair, like Cameron said, is a great resource, and you're working with some great professors who also can have connections. So yeah. And first of all, thank you everyone for hanging in there, as pretty much all of us lost our power for a brief second and we lost connection. So yeah, just thank you again for hanging by as we come back. And I will say that I lost a number of the questions that you guys asked before I was disconnected. So feel free, if you asked a question before and it wasn't answered yet, put it in again. But to move forward, here's a great question. What was your favorite course during your time at USC that you've taken? Maybe engineering and non-engineering favorite courses.
Yeah, I'll answer. My favorite engineering course I take, it's actually a course I just took this spring, even though it was virtual. It's EE 250, which is the Distributed Systems and an Internet of Things. Sorry, but I'm also TAing that class. But one of my favorite parts about that class is obviously like my professor was amazing. He really took the time to try to get to know us all, even virtually, as well as make the information a lot more palatable. And for our final project, he actually let us like take creative reins. So as long as we had the project requirements, like it was like an Internet of Things type system, things were connected, things connected to servers, like it was kind of a free for all. So I got to make like these LED lights that were also audio reactive, and you could like search up a YouTube video and like send it over, and then they just like did a cool visual thing. And that was really fun to be able to do just as like for a class, because it's something that I would think of just to do for myself for fun. So it was really cool to be able to do that in school.
Yeah, just kind of hopping in for me, it's also a class I took this spring. It's one of the technical electives for the computer science business program. It's called DSL 462, Managing a Small Business on the Internet. And this is like probably, I guess, like what you would think of as basically we got a chance to design from start to finish. Like we come up with an idea of an internet run business that like solves some type of problem we have, or like just find some sort of niche in the market that we don't know. And then we go through the process of fleshing out and building a full like website, full stack. So front end, back end, server side, using like various technologies. So we went through like Wix, WordPress, we used Bootstrap.
Okay, sounds good. HTML. Sorry, I have super unstable connection because of that.
It's all good, Natalie. I imagine you said that maybe a couple minutes ago, but thank you. Here's another great question that I'll move forward to. And a couple of people have been asking kind of things relating to this question. Someone asked, is Viterbi socially isolated from other parts of the school, or do you have a lot of interaction with non-Viterbi students, and maybe through extracurriculars? What are some fun extracurriculars you've done?
Yeah, I would say Viterbi isn't like socially isolated from the university at all. It's definitely like you will end up getting close with engineering people just because you do end up spending a lot of time with them, whether it's through your classes, through the study groups. I know it's something that Mark hit on before where, you know, if you have roommates, friends who might have a less demanding like course schedule and they can go out on like, or just to have a less demanding schedule, that can be a reason why you will end up with like a scope that has a lot of engineering people because you'll want to be around people. But I have a ton of non-engineering friends. There's a lot of opportunities to join extracurriculars that aren't engineering related, like Greek life or not Greek life. Like a lot of people like the climbing team or the like recreational intramural teams, Frisbee. I have a lot of friends who do all of that as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think I've ever felt like I haven't gotten like the experience that everyone else has, like, because I do have a lot of friends that aren't engineers. So I definitely say you are not isolated in the slightest. Engineering also is like a pretty big kind of area on campus. So like if you're going to those buildings, it may seem a little far, but like that's, you know, maybe 2 in your first like couple semesters. So you're still going to be in class with everyone else taking like RIT 150, RIT 340, all any other GE classes where you meet other people, and even like dining halls. You don't have like any specific dining halls or residential halls specifically for engineering. So you get to meet a ton of people outside of that. That's not even including any social clubs that you join outside of this, any fraternities, sororities, if you guys are interested in that. So that's all something to keep in mind.
Yeah, we definitely there's that. It's not very socialized. Some of my best friends are not engineering majors, so we get around and we have like different connections.
Awesome, yeah, and I'll speak to it myself. I'm a member of Greek Life personally, and I've been on the club volleyball team at USC. We haven't quite bounced back since COVID hit, but I'm hoping we do because I would love to play again sometime soon. But anyway, to move on to a new question, something that a lot of people are interested in as they're coming into college is research opportunities for undergrads. And I was just wondering if any of you can speak on that, what it's like getting them, how doing research as an undergrad works, stuff like that.
Yeah, so for getting research as an undergrad, it's honestly pretty easy to do because a lot of professors really want undergrads in their lab. They just like having undergraduate students working in their labs. It's more of, you do definitely need to like proactively reach out. It's the only thing, which I know is sometimes a different experience coming from high school where it's like apply to this. It's not going to be like an official application, other than there are certain programs that actually do that, but mostly the best way to get research is to just email a professor who like look at the research that they're doing. If you think it's cool, if you think it's interesting for you, shoot them an email. Like they'll probably have space in their lab, and that's how I found my research lab my freshman year, which was the interaction lab. It's like a robot human interaction lab where I thought like the research was cool. The leader for that lab, Dr. Matart, came in and gave a guest presentation, and I thought it was cool and just emailed her and got into the lab that way. And that's a pretty standard, but yeah, anyone else wants to hop in?
I also did some research in the immersive audio lab my freshman year, and that was really cool. Definitely not the route that I wanted to keep pursuing. So I only did that for a year, but I kind of found mine similar to what Emily did. They had like a Viterbi kind of lab fair, more or less, my freshman year. And it was like where all the professors opened up their labs for students to kind of see the research that they were doing. I just contacted the professor after seeing his lab. I was like, hey, the stuff is really cool. Do you have any spaces in your lab to join? And he's like, yeah, I have a spot. And so me and like another student, a grad student actually, joined his lab after that opening. And we just worked on some artificial intelligence and machine learning type work in the audio industry.
That's awesome. And I'll speak personally from my experience. I'm doing research right now with one of the IC professors in he teaches a lot of the operations research classes, and he does research on solving vehicle routing problems, which are optimization problems that companies like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, they use to route their vehicles, obviously, and find the most efficient delivery routes. And so all I did was I had a great time in his class, and I sent him an email at the end. I was saying, hey, like All of this sounds really interesting to me. I'm wondering if there's space for me. And he was like, oh yeah, come along. And that's it. And here I am. It's that easy. So I'm seeing a number of more general questions about people wondering what the USC community is like, how the culture among engineering students is, anything relating to that. So if you could describe kind of your general experience with USC and Viterbi in terms of culture, what would you guys say?
I can jump in on this one. I would say that USC so far has been really, really collaborative. Personally, in my major, I'm studying industrial and systems engineering, and a lot of our classes actually have group project components in them. And so you get to learn how to work with other engineers, and it's a really great experience. That I feel like was one of the happy surprises coming to college, just to have such a supportive and collaborative community.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Yeah, I definitely second that concept. I think that it's really like just been super supportive for me. Like people have like been not afraid to reach out. Like when I switched to the major, I kind of felt a little ajar because most people were freshmen in CS and I was a sophomore. But I met a few other sophomores inside of it. One person who reached out in my accounting class, like, hey, you're in my data structures class and this accounting class. Do you want to link up and work on some homework? And I kid you not, we collaborated on many assignments to try to like work out like, hey, like how are we supposed to solve our CS homework? So it's overall been pretty collaborative, like really good culture, not cutthroat at all, and really welcoming.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that about covers it. I definitely agree with everything you guys said. One thing that I love about USC personally is I feel like I'm surrounded by extremely intelligent people, but also very social people that are just always very welcoming. And like you guys said, collaborative, and it's just overall a great time. Can't be sad in LA weather either. So one other person asked a question that I really like. They were wondering how accessible are your professors and advisors, et cetera, whenever you need to access them?
For the most part, I would say that professors are really accessible. Honestly, if anything, you're going to run into the opposite problem where professors are like begging people to go to their office hours, and they that's how accessible they are. Like that, I've never really seen a professor with like, obviously there's exceptions, but like mostly they're always like open door policy, more office hours than people are actually going to 90% of the time. So they're really easy to reach out to, and they will like walk you through the course material. Like if you didn't get it, they like no shame in that. They know that it's tough. Like they will like help you actually figure it out if you take the time to go and talk to them.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that as well. Like I remember I had a professor freshman year, and I was just not understanding anything, and he really sat down and pretty much taught the exact same material like to me twice in office hours. So I was really appreciative of that. But I know this one professor I had, he was not responsive to email in the slightest. And I emailed him like 5 or 6 times to get approval on something. And it wasn't until I went to his office hours was he like very open. And he was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, I could have swore I responded. I was like, no. But I ended up going to his office hours 4 or 5 times that semester, and he was very helpful. So I would say, even if they are terrible with email, which a good amount are, you can still reach them anytime in office hours, and they're really helpful.
Yeah. Also kind of on a similar note to what Emily and Mark have both said, but I had professors who I had, over the pandemic when we were all virtual and online, and over the past week, they've sent out emails and they said, hey, we know we were your professor like 2 semesters ago, but now that we're back in person, please come to our office hours so we can actually meet you in person. And I thought that was really cool, just showing, that even though I'm not currently taking their classes, they still want to be supportive of my academic interests and everything.
Awesome. Yeah, I would definitely agree with all of that. And so changing subjects real quick, because I saw 2 people asking this question, and I think it's a very important one. They're wondering, how is the food at USC? And maybe if you guys want to talk about, maybe we debate the best dining hall.
Oh man, I feel like it depends on what the mood is, for food. Depends on, I guess I vote Parkside Dining Hall.
It's a wonderful choice. And why do you say that? Do you want to just talk quickly about kind of the differences between them and what's offered?
Yeah, it's been a minute since I'm a senior, and I think the last time I was really in a dining hall, I was a freshman. But I really liked Parkside because they had a custom ravioli bar, And so you would walk in and you would like choose the ravioli, like what filling you wanted, if it was like meat or cheese, and then you would choose your sauce. And I really like that. And we have that maybe like once a week, once every 2 weeks. So I think that's why I choose Parkside. But all of the dining halls usually have some kind of option where you can like go up and have them make a meal for you, or it was kind of like serve yourself style. I think things have changed a little bit, but that's how it was when I was a freshman.
Yeah, the food at USC, it's not bad, but it's not, you know, a 5-star gourmet meal. Like I was, as a freshman and a sophomore, I ate in the dining halls. I had a full meal plan for both years, and I actually really loved the food. But then again, you know, it's dining hall food, and dining hall food is going to be the same anywhere you go. Like it's not a UCLA dining hall where they actually have professional chefs chefing up every meal, but it's definitely a solid meal. I would say EVK is a sleeper. I loved EVK. If anyone can hop on the train behind me about EVK, they have a burger bar. So, you know, if worst comes to worst, you can always get a burger, hot dog. But their quesadilla days, mwah. Those things were solid.
Yes.
I will agree that EVK is a sleeper choice, and I actually really like. I would be like, everyone used to say EVK isn't the best or like it's the worst, but when you actually go, it's like it's pretty decent. However, the other thing that I think deserves more appreciation from the dining halls is like the vegetarian vegan section of the McCarthy dining hall. They had some really good stuff. Like they had this like falafel that had like a sauce on it. Like it was always like pretty decent like vegan vegetarian food there, like, and they had that obviously like a new thing kind of rotating. It wasn't just like sad salad and like beans. It was like actually like good like it would be like good noodles with tofu or something. Like they really did try. It was like pretty good food. So I think that's my sleeper choice for the dining hall wars, I guess.
Agreed. Yeah, EVK, like I liked McCarthy because like I agree that there's a section for like plant-based, and like eggplant parm, which like I'm a huge fan of. They do have a crepe bar, or they did have a crepe bar when I was a freshman. It was very good to get late night snacks. However, if it is on a Sunday and you are just worn out, it's a long week, need to prepare, I guarantee you a good EVK Sunday dinner will change your life. I will stand by that until I graduate. So yes, EVK is a sleeper. Bring back the EVK hype.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I feel like, you know, wherever you go, like whatever dining hall at whatever school you guys end up choosing, you know, like things do get repetitive because they can't like no one can offer like a crazy different menu every single day. But I will say I had a great time on my when I was still on the meal plan at USC. So it definitely works.
Also, most people are only on the dining plan for a year. So it's not the worst thing in the world if you don't end up liking it. But that being said, I was very happy with the food selection they had.
Absolutely. So I've seen a couple people also asking about this. They're wondering what's unique about Viterbi and or USC in general. Yeah. What's something you guys think is unique to us? Kind of a toughie, I know. So I'll give you guys a second.
I would say probably the whole like engineering plus thing, but not in the like super cliche, oh, engineering plus. But so like I haven't really met anyone in engineering or Viterbi who's like only interested in engineering. Like I've also learned like people are into like philosophy, music, art, whatever else. Like I think that's a really cool thing about Viterbi is that like I think just because maybe the location in LA and like who it draws from, where it kind of has this like collaborative, I know this has also been spoken to, how it's like a very collaborative environment. I haven't been to another engineering school, so I can't say, but there's really not a lot of like competition. There's no like anti-curve where only like 10% of people get A's or something. Like everyone's really trying to help you out, and like it's just very supportive, I would say, like overall. And that probably really makes it like, that's I think what distinguishes it is that, as well as just other like all the engineering people are also like not just into engineering.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would also say maybe a little bit more like generally for all of USC, I honestly feel like no other college has school spirit like USC. The Trojan family and Trojan pride is such a real thing, especially on game days, which I'm very excited to come up again. You know, you see everyone decked out in cardinal and gold. like, all the engineers and their friends, they are all out there watching the football game and having fun and just really proud to be a Trojan. And it's just an energy that I can definitely say I've not felt at any other school. I know I just kind of jumped in halfway to this live chat, but I'm actually captain of the cheer team here at USC. So I've had a lot of opportunity to go see other student sections and other, spirit groups, from other universities, and no one does it quite like us. And the Trojan network and Trojan family is really, really real and really, really strong. At my internship this summer, they did a blurb about the interns, and on mine, it had that I went to USC, and I had maybe 15 people from my company reach out and just be like, hey, oh my God, I'm a USC alumni. Let's do a Zoom call and just have coffee and chat. And so, it can open so many doors for you if you look and set yourself up for that. So I think that's something really special about USC.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. Like, the people here are just amazing. And I feel like kind of like the people that choose USC are not necessarily outgoing, but everyone's really friendly, everyone's really genuine. And so you're kind of looking for those other people, and you'll find that at USC. I know when I was touring, like, I saw, people, and you just ask someone to help you find something, and people are willing to help. Like, if you're just walking down Truesdale, and you can't really find that everywhere. But I would say what's really unique about USC, or like the engineering program, is how accessible studying abroad is. And so I knew coming into USC, like, studying abroad was the number one thing on my list. And so I did it the very first chance that I got. So I did a program where I went during the summer after my freshman year. I don't think that program's being offered anymore because they want to kind of expand it to more engineering students. And so I think the new program, they're incorporating it into one of your engineering courses or a writing course, to where you would take 2 weeks abroad. But mine was 8 weeks abroad in Paris, and I liked it so much, I really wanted to take a semester abroad through the regular USC semester abroad programs, but then COVID hit. But I loved it. It was definitely one of the best experiences I've ever had in college, or much less life. So I would definitely, encourage, if anyone is looking to study abroad, kind of make sure like the college that you want to go to is offering it, because at least at the other colleges that I was looking into, it was really difficult to study abroad. Whereas USC, they're like, yeah, for sure, we can definitely work that in your schedule.
Totally. Yeah. Thanks, guys. We normally do end with kind of the why USC question, but I kind of think we kind of just did that. Those are a few good answers. So I'll just segue to this other question that I saw. What advice would you guys give to someone who's a senior right now, kind of getting ready for the idea of going to college and becoming possibly an engineering major?
I'd say that my biggest piece of advice is to keep an open mind. I guess like a compound, like keep an open mind, like semicolon, and like don't necessarily be afraid if like the plan that like you possibly had completely veers off course and changes. I feel like this is in case, especially for like applying to college, because the college admission and decision process can be completely different to go somewhere for different reasons and whatnot. So that's one thing. But also just keep your interests and options open. That way, if you're slightly interested in something, or your ideas and your wants and what you're interested in changes, keep an open mind to that, and it'll really serve you well as you go through the process.
Cool. Anyone else?
I was just going to say, like, building off of what Cameron said, it's okay to just be kind of interested into engineering, or be kind of interested in engineering. Like, you don't have to have been on the robotics team. You don't have to have taken engineering courses in high school. It's totally okay to just be like, I kind of like math and science. I kind of want to try it out. I did that, and I think it's turned out great. I'm entering my senior year, and I'm now getting a master's in engineering. So don't feel the need to, think everything totally needs to be planned out. It's okay to have things changed. And I think it's kind of just rewording what Cameron said, but I just really want to drive that home.
Yeah, definitely. Anything to add, Emily?
That was very similar to what I was going to say, but I just say, yeah, I mean, be open. Also, like, don't worry about not having everything planned out, but also do consider like where you want to go for you, and like what you want to do or become. Not to say you don't need to know like your dream job, your dream goal, but just think of like, is this a place like of the college that you're applying to? Like really try to think of yourself at that place, and like, are you going to be happy there? Because especially with engineering or any kind of major, like education wise, you're probably going to come off with a very similar level of technical skill no matter what university you go to. It's about like the connections, the networking, Trojan family, just having like a good quality of life and what it's going to set you up for the future. That's really important.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. Like both what Emily and Alex said, like I had no idea really what engineering was before coming to USC. And I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I kind of just left it open. I never took a physics class before USC. So definitely going into civil engineering and mechanical engineering, it's kind of a big deal, but you should be fine either way. Like you start at square one, everyone starts at square one, so you're not behind. But general college kind of advice, like when you're choosing a college, I know you're all pretty smart. Joining this Zoom shows that you're eager to come to college. Definitely eager to kind of get that application rolling. But when it comes down to things, when you have to submit by May 1st or whatever that deadline is, make sure you're really kind of evaluating what's important to you and not just choosing off of a name brand or like, oh, my parents went here. Definitely see what matters to you, whether you have the course plans, flexibility of switching majors, if that's something important to you. But even things like as little as like school size, school spirit. I know for me personally, I really wanted a school with like big sports programs because I really love sports. And so, you have the chance of going to the other schools, but would you be happy there?
Totally. I think there's no better way to end it off than there. So I think that's it for our questions. But once again, you can still submit more questions to vstudent@usc.edu at any time, and we will get to that. Okay, so we would love for you to stay connected, and a way to connect with the Viterbi admission office is through an information session. This is a great opportunity to learn more about the application process in general. If you're interested, you can register at viterbiadmission.usc.edu/visit. And lastly, stay connected with Viterbi students. We would love for you to follow us on all of our social media accounts and content platforms. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, newly made TikTok account, well, semi-new at this point, as well as a podcast, as Alex said, on Spotify and Apple Music and SoundCloud. If you want to learn more about what life is like as an engineering student at USC or have more questions for us, once again, make sure you email vstudent@usc.edu. So thank you all for tuning in tonight, and good luck on your college applications. We wish you the best.
And we're back. Thank you so much, Derek, for sharing that with us. Were there any questions that stood out to you from the live chat that you haven't heard before?
Oh my God, it's been a hot minute since the live chat, but I was loving a lot of people were asking kind of a little bit more deeper questions about the Viterbi culture, stuff like that, which I really appreciate because that was kind of the number one thing on my mind at the time. So it was nice to answer something a little more than just can I switch my major, which is kind of a yes or no answer, which is yes.
Yeah.
But kind of digging into what the students are really like is always good.
Awesome. Well, I am truly appreciative of you doing this and helping our prospective students get a sense of what life is like. Again, I encourage every one of our students to register for those future live chats wherever they see something that sounds interesting to them. Please go ahead and do that. There is another kind of non-specific live chat coming in the future as well, another Viterbi Voices live chat to talk about all things. So please do that in addition to registering for admission information sessions in a virtual environment. And the thing that we've just made an announcement about, I'm making a light announcement about right now, is that there will be some in-person events happening throughout the country for USC in the near future. And so we're sending invitations out to people that are in the areas of these different things. You can go to the admission website, admission.usc.edu, and click on Discover USC to see whether we'll be in your city in the near future. But there will be USC traveling roadshows happening in various cities across the country, and the Viterbi School of Engineering will be present at the majority of them. Not everyone, but we'll be present at the majority of them to talk to somebody in person. Outside of that, we still have our virtual programming, which is, I think, to be honest with you, a little bit better because we can go much more in depth. We can spend more time with you. And at every one of our virtual events, we have current students to chat with you and you get that perspective as well. So we're covering you from all angles out there. If you have more questions about the Viterbi School, final reminder is the common application is due for first year students on December 1st. And so make sure you get that application in by December 1st. For transfer students, it is not due until February 15th of 2022. So please don't even worry about that now. Do well in your fall term. And then starting in January or maybe late December, you can start working on your application and get it submitted by February 15th. Anything else you two want to talk about before we close this thing out?
Not much. I think you covered it all.
Exactly.
All right.
Good luck, everyone.
Sweet. Bye, everybody.